Hello and welcome to SCOREGolf.com's coverage of the RBC Canadian Open here at Glen Abbey Golf Club. Jason Logan with you, and I am joined by longtime SCOREGolf.com contributor Rick Young, who has probably almost covered every Canadian Open here at Glen Abbey. Too many to count, really. And Rick, there is a lot of talk right now about Glen Abbey as a venue for the Canadian Open, whether or not it should be a permanent home again or maybe even a semi-permanent home. What are your thoughts on this golf course as a host of this Canadian Open?
I would like to see this golf course made into the permanent home of the Canadian Open. I think it's a golf course that lends itself really well to spectators. I think it lends itself really well to the players themselves. The players seem to like it. It's a big ballpark. It's going hard and fast, and I think this golf course is ripe for a great Canadian Open.
Well, certainly the weather thus far has been perfect early in the week, and the forecast is very good as well, and that is refreshing for an RBC Canadian Open. Lots of thunderstorms in recent years here at Glen Abbey, and as you said, the conditions are firm and fast, and it is windy and it is hot. Who do you think that favors, and who is your pick to win? Yeah,
I think it favors the Bombers this week. I really do. I think they're going to be able to run out some drives. I think Graham Dillette was saying this morning he was hitting some drives 360, 370 yards. So I really like the long bomber this week, and if we want to go long, I'm going with Bubba Watson. I'm going with the two-time Masters champion. I like his game. I think it fits well here. He hasn't won in a while. I like Bubba Watson. I think it could be a very good week for him.
Well, he certainly is going to have a lot of fan support. He's a popular player, and he's got a Canada connection with his wife from the Greater Toronto area. For my pick, I'm going to go in the complete opposite direction and take Jim Furyk. I actually think this golf course, with the way it's playing, favors accuracy over length. It'll be paramount to get the ball in the fairway. Because the greens are so firm, you need to drive it in the fairway so you can control the spin on your ball, attacking some of these flags, which can be tucked in pretty difficult positions here at Glen Abbey. 16 Canadians are in the field, a mix of PGA, Web.com, Mackenzie Tour players, and a whole slew of amateurs as well. Rick, I want to get your take. A Canadian, if he was to win this week and end that long drought, who is it going to be?
I really like a lot of the Canadians coming in here, but since I'm picking one, I'm picking Brad Fritsch. And the reason I'm picking Brad is simply because he loves Glen Abbey. He's probably the guy that likes Glen Abbey the most amongst the Canadians. He's a big ball hitter, again, in a big ballpark, and I think I just spoke to him on the range a short time ago. He loves it. He loves the week. He's feeling good. I think Brad Fritsch.
I'm going to go with David Hearn, who is coming off a missed cut at the Open Championship, but also coming off a playoff loss at the Greenbrier. I think David Hearn has an appreciation for this golf course more now than he did when he was a young player. He's played it a lot of times, and I think he's coming into his own, as he said, as a top-tier PGA Tour player. Now, as we said, 16 Canadians outside of the PGA Tour, the Web.com Tour boys. Who is somebody who could surprise this week? Maybe somebody who can pull what Taylor Pendrith did last year, sort of come out and make a name for himself and play well at the Canadian Open.
Well, the guy I like the most is Corey Conners. He's played really well this year on his weeks on the PGA Tour Canada. Has coming off a tremendous week last week. So I think he's coming in here with some serious momentum. And again, another big ball hitter who is a great putter. I think that lends itself perfectly to a guy like Corey Conners this week.
Yeah, Corey Conners almost coming away with the victory on the Mackenzie Tour last year at the Stahl Foundation Open. For my dark horse Canadian, I'm going to go with a guy who has won on the Mackenzie Tour, and that is Albin Choi. Played in the Canadian Open as a top-notch amateur. Now he's coming to his own as a professional, having found the winner's circle both in Canada and on many tours in the States. I believe he is going to make the cut and make some noise this week. That's it for our preview show, but please stick with SCOREGolf.com all week for continued coverage of the RBC Canadian Open.